to join in the recognition of Jenna as Change Agent of the Year. So we've invited Jenna to take the stage, tell a little about her story, and take a few minutes just to share what she's done. And here's an example of somebody that knows what taking action looks like. Jenna?
Thank you, Dr. Berwick. I feel I need to ask your advice as a master linguist, how you so eloquently are able to express your gratitude when words like humbled and grateful feel so inadequate. Because that's really how I feel today. I feel humbled and grateful, and that my words are just so underrepresentative of the joy and love that I have for the IHI and the open school community. This is actually the third year in a row that I've been able to stand on this stage and speak with Dr. Berwick. That's something I never would have dreamed of. In my first year, I was able to share a vision of creating a national conference to unite Canada's open school chapters. And in my second year, I was able to stand here and share my IHI UBC team's success in doing so. So now I'd like to share my gratitude. And I'd like to take a moment to thank the people whose influence, guidance, and direct mentorship have elevated my own achievement to a place that I never thought possible. In reflecting on my 6 years with IHI Open School, there are many wonderful memories and mantras that come to mind. But I'll start with this. How you do anything is how you do everything. So let me speak directly from the heart. Dr. Berwick and the IHI Open School staff, in creating a global organization, may you know the impact that you've had at the individual level. You have fostered my personal and professional development and leadership. You've given me courage to not only challenge the status quo, but the tools and the resources to be successful in doing so. You've given me a powerful community through which I recognize that in my endeavors, I am not alone. So as I transition from medical school into residency, I will look for new ways to incorporate my knowledge and connection to the open school and new ways to spread these ideals. I'd also like to thank Dr. Dan Horvat. I know I've said it before and I will continue to say it every opportunity I have. Thank you for your encouragement and your willingness to include me in meetings that I know are creating the current for change in our provincial healthcare system in British Columbia. To Dr. Lawrence Yang, one of the most vibrant providers, always smiling, never without a phone in hand, and always ready to take a selfie with the keynote speaker. I'm sure you've seen his face a few times on the IHI photo wall. But Dr. Yang shares more than selfies. He creates moments of gratitude, spreads knowledge, and serves as a powerful connector of people and resources. He creates opportunity, and I hope to one day be able to serve as an inspiration to others as you have for me. Now, I hope I can make this without crying, but I would also like to take a moment to thank my parents who are sitting up here at the front table with us today. So we live over 1,000 kilometers apart, and they have listened for many years to my phone calls, sharing stories about the IHI Open School. I know they could tell of IHI's growing importance in my life, with the frequency and enthusiasm with which I shared my stories. When I told them I was recipient of the Change Agent of the Year award, they decided on a whim to follow me down here to see what this was all about and to share this moment with me. So thank you. Now, there are no words to share just how grateful I am for the sacrifices that each of you have made. You've enabled me to pursue my dreams. And I know it was not easy to raise a strong-willed child. Through everything, you taught the power of kindness and compassion, perseverance in the face of adversity, to give more than you receive, and to dream bigger than they tell you how. So I cherish the example that you set for prioritizing family and altruistic values. Mom would always say, first you have to fit the mold before you can break it. You instilled being a change agent without even knowing just how powerful that advice is. So to Mom and Dad, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I'd also like to take a minute just to share a little bit about what inspired me to get involved with both local and systemic change, as well as offer some advice to other students and change agents in the room. So I was inspired to get involved while I was on a volunteer trip in rural Honduras with the Mayo Clinic Medical School. One of my mentors there, Dr. John Bachman, would start each morning sharing stories and drumming up inspiration for the day. The one that really resonated with me was called Star Thrower. It talks about the power of one, and that when working in your own domain, you can and will make a difference. And when I think at a systems level, that sometimes these improvement tasks seem daunting, but I know fixing healthcare is not an individual task. Rather, it's the responsibility of every person who works with or interacts with this system. And so I wanted to learn how to do this effectively and as early as possible in my career. So my advice to other change agents is to take a moment when you think about planning an event is to map your network. Write down people you've worked with in the past, those who could support you in what you're doing right now or who are doing similar work. To look at writing down and engaging with colleagues who may have an interest in quality improvement or who just want to be a part of healthcare in general. Next, I suggest you take a minute to write down what connections you need to have. Identify possible funding or resources, and then draw the relationship between what you have and what you need. Can you identify nodes or people who are influential in this process that you are already connected with? And can you identify gaps where you need to build those connections? My next piece of advice would also be not to recreate the wheel, but rather use existing resources that have been tried, tested, and true. When I was planning Canada's IHI Open School Conference, we relied heavily on Gantt charts that had been created for the West Coast Regional Conference and from the University of Toronto, who hosts an annual event. I also suggest you go online to look at the IHI Open School resources because they have everything from planning kits to help organize events, to poster templates and guides to start quality improvement projects. I'd also say lead by example, because there's nothing stopping you from being the leader that you aspire to be. Don't wait until you've finished your education. Be punctual, be present, be committed, trust your people and the process, and believe in your shared purpose and vision. I'd also say make gratitude a habit. For sustainable healthcare, may you all spread kindness and find and create joy in your work. And I'll just end by saying it's an unparalleled honor to be considered the Change Agent of the Year, but I know that the people who engage wholeheartedly with this organization are the true innovators of a more efficient, more patient-centered, and more joyous healthcare system. So to a room full of star throwers, may each chapter leader and chapter member realize and achieve your own potential and know the power of one.